Ya kanajuk gunachish hadi adi yohan tlachuasach tu yak yata choskeni ya yagi. Nila toga ayach sai gunanach satia wa uhan ka iak sa. Lingit yu katangish tu tu. Ka ach tu yak wujin chasati ya yagi. Hi everybody, my name is Anna Clock. My Danaka name is Nila Toga. My family is Koyukon Athabaskan and Iyak. I study the Lingit language, and I feel great that we're here together today. And this is Shikshani Keith.
Yeah, I'll have to let you know that I'm blind, so, but I can hear real well, so I count on that. I'm gonna cheese hadi adi. I think it you a tongue we're going to talk about how the Clinkets talk. So one of the things that always stumps the students, and I think it's because of my age, is what to call me. So I think I always feel comfortable in being called Chaksani Keek. So that's my Tlingit name.
So welcome to class. Hopefully everybody, looks like everyone arrived. You got the Zoom link. We are working out some kinks so that everyone will be able to log on. We'll use the same Zoom link for all our classes. And today is just a chance for us to get to know each other a little bit, for you to get to know us. Shiksani Keek and I will be your teachers for this class. It will go through December 22nd. So we'll have about 11 weeks together. And yeah, so let's jump right in. I'm gonna share my screen. So today is week 1, day 1. Welcome to class. As I mentioned, we'll be your teachers for this class. The dates run through December 22nd. We're gonna go ahead and take a week-long break, October 17th to the 21st, just so you know. This will be the week of Elders and Youth and AFN, and we know folks will wanna head over there. Even if you don't have plans to go to AFN or you don't normally go, it's a good opportunity to go learn a little bit about Alaska Native cultures if you're not Alaska Native, and let us know what you learned. So the time will be Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is our lunch hour. We'll deliver it over Zoom. And before we go into class expectations, let's talk a little bit about how to ask us questions. So I want to ask if you guys have questions, and then just as a courtesy, if you could use the raise your hand function on your Zoom. Just type in the chat if you're not sure how to do that, but you are able to unmute yourself. So before we get into class expectations, do any of you have questions? Sani, go ahead. Oh, you're muted, Sani.
Sorry. Oh,
yeah.
I don't have any questions. I was just raising my hand as a test. I'm just a little bit slow finding it, but I'm here.
Good.
Nice to see you all.
Awesome. Gunachish. Okay, Katie Harmon.
Hello, my Tlingit name is Tse Tlawuk, and I'm here, and also my cousin is here, but she signed in my email because we're participating together, so I wanted to make sure her attendance is recorded. and I'll let her say her name.
Hi, my name is Henry Peterson. My Tlingit name is Yeti Duftan. I'm Raven Frog from Taku.
Oh, we didn't have the camera on. I'm sorry.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah.
The picture of the person, when you say your name, pops into my head. That's a name that I know from Huna. So, welcome.
Thank you.
Sheesh.
Christine Wall.
Hello, I was just curious, are you gonna record sessions in case I miss one? Is there a way to go back and watch?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. All of these classes will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube, and you'll be able to access both the slides for classes as well as the class recordings through our Tovuti site. And Nath Kaguge, who's here with us for Tlingit and Haida, will walk us through that in our demonstration.
How do you raise your hand in this?
Oh yeah,
So here's
Sorry.
no, that's a good question. I'm remembering myself. Nath Kaguge, do you remember?
I'll raise hand. Yeah, if you don't mind, I can share my screen and demonstrate for everyone.
Yeah, take it away.
Gonna share. So this, you should all be seeing my Zoom controls, right? Can you
Mhm.
see it? So at the bottom of your screen, there should be this little smiley face that says reactions. Click reactions, and there is raise hand. So why don't we just have everyone right now take a moment and hit raise hand. And then after you've been called on and you're done speaking, so this really helps us because you're going to immediately be moved to the top of this Hollywood square. So now go back to reactions, and if you hit the smiley face, there should be a button that says lower hand. So let's all lower our hands now. Goodness, Jish. Okay.
Looks like they did it. Goodness, geez.
Can't do it.
So for folks who are just tuning in, it looked like our numbers are going up. Just wanted to let you know today we're just kind of going through our housekeeping dynamics, our etiquette. Nath Kaguge just demonstrated how to raise your hand. So even though this is a large group, folks will be able to raise their hand, lower their hand. Nath Kaguge, you can stop sharing your screen when you're ready. But when we call on you, feel free to unmute, ask your question. We're here for you. So any more questions before we move on to class expectations? All right, so I'm gonna share screen again. So a few other things we wanted to cover about class expectations. First off, you'll be asked to keep a notebook, or if you take your notes on the computer, if you have a file that is just for your notes for Tlingit, we ask that you keep one. This is something I've done from the very beginning. It's an expectation Shiksani Keek holds in her classes, but you'll need to keep a notebook that's just for Tlingit, and you're always welcome to take notes. You're always welcome to use your notes. So just be kind to yourself. Keep them in a place where it's easy for you to access. This class will include a requirement to read and write. That's one of the things we'll be covering in class is we're here for you for that process, how to start learning to read and write in the language. Next is just keeping good Zoom etiquette. If possible, we request that you keep your camera on We know that we're all in different situations in our, environments. We're understanding of that, but it does help us to be able to see your faces and just connect with you. We'd like you to participate in class. We encourage you to participate. We'll probably be calling on you sometimes, but at the same time, we won't be asking you to individually perform. So even if we're calling on you, don't feel like you're going to be put on the spot in front of a lot of people to, recite something in the language. It won't be like that.
We're anxious to teach you how to read and write, because the class, even though it's a year long, you should be able to recognize words or sound out words by the time we finish. And it's so it'll be important. That's one reason that I require taking notes. And a lot of times I say, go to your notes or use your notes. And so it's, you'll have to set up a system so that it'll be easy to refer to your notebook. Teaches you how to recognize words, writing them, and saying them. So it's quite a big task for you guys, but you can do it.
Yeah, that's it. We put some intention behind our goals for you folks in this class, and we agreed that we want to have a good long-term goal for you. For example, one of our goals by the end of December is that all you folks will be able to introduce yourselves. And so we're going to break it down along the way so that even though you have a larger long-term goal, we're going to break it down into achievable, smaller tasks.
I'm used to starting my class in August. So the whole month of September have already gone by. So that means what's going to be left out of what I usually teach is the numbers. But don't worry, well, you'll get it at the next semester.
Goodness, geez. Okay, a few more expectations. Something that you folks can expect is that in this class, we'll be able to recognize each other and greet each other using our native names. And so we encourage you to keep your native identity. For example, my Danaka name is Nila Toga. I use it even when I'm in a Lingit language space. So if you're Yupik, Lingit, Athabaskan, we encourage you to use your native name. If you're not native, this is an awesome opportunity to find a pet name. And so this is something we'll help you with in our later weeks in this term, is how to look up words. If you like to play basketball, how do you start looking up words, and we'll help you with the spelling and pronunciation, but it'll be fun. So yeah, our expectation is we use our native names. As we mentioned, classes will be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. So if you do miss a class, you can message us through the Tavudi website, which Nitkagoge will be demonstrating after expectations. And you can just message us, let us know what you did to catch up, whether it was watch the recording, look at the slide. It just helps us keep in touch with your progress. Next is snacks. This is a lunchtime session. We encourage you to bring snacks and tea to your desk for class. Sometimes Shiksani Kik will tell stories. This is a great time to eat. The only thing we ask is don't be eating while you're speaking. Don't hurt anybody.
I don't want you choking on the food. So
exactly.
Yeah, because some of the letters are, when you come to it, you'll realize that it could be difficult. And so I think at the beginning, when you first start to learn some of the difficult letters, I don't teach the alphabet. I start out in the beginning with some alphabet words, the vowels, and the letter L will be introduced today. There's, I think you get to use the other letters soon enough so that you begin to get acquainted with it. So there's, according to whoever is counting, there's 48 to 52 letters in the Tlingit language. And the good thing about it is there's only one pronunciation for each letter. So that takes care of that.
Goodness, geez. Last short list of expectations. If at some point during this class and during this fall season, you feel like you're struggling, you feel like you want to drop out, we just ask that you let us be the judge of that. So sometimes language learning can be daunting, it's close to home, it's personal, it can be hard. We encourage you to stick with it. If you're struggling, please reach out to us so that we can help you. We would rather you do that rather than just back out on your own. We know life gets busy, but we hope to keep you here with us through the end. So earlier I mentioned we won't ask you to individually perform. Did you have anything to add, Shukshani Ki?
Yeah, I think in the writing of the language, and it's something that I keep running across, is the tendency to use English writing. That when you look through the Downhauer books, they do not have exclamation mark, question mark, quotation marks, or things like that, because we have a different use for the punctuation that we will come across. So when you write the words, I will tell you how to write it and the rules for saying each letter. So don't want to scare anybody, but in other words, if we have a phrase that's a question, do not add a question mark to it, because I'll show you where the question mark is in the Tlingit language.
So earlier we mentioned we won't ask you to individually perform. What we will do is say something like, everybody repeat this phrase, rather than Joe, you say this phrase. So we want you to participate, but also rest assured you won't be put on the spot.
I usually say, after me. So I say the word and you say it after me, so I can hear how you say it.
Okay. Last thing we want you to know is you will have assignments where you work together on things. We want folks to collaborate. When we have assignments like this, you'll pick a partner and we'll change partners each time. So just expect some collaboration.
Yeah, we want you to get to know each other. That's something that's kind of hard on Zoom. If you're in a classroom, like first day in class, I always say, I really enjoy being here because I can get to talk, because you don't know each other yet.
Yeah.
And after a while, when everybody gets to know each other, there's a lot of laughing and talking. So I take advantage of the first couple of days.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun group. So before Nechkagugwe takes us into her demonstration of how to use the Tavudi website, do we have any questions from the class?
Or comments?
Yes, I don't know how to make this work on my iPhone.
Okay. Let's see, let me find you. Well, it sounds like you're able to hear us. Are you, and you can unmute and speak? Probably, do you have a more specific question on what you need help with?
No, I was just trying to figure out how to make this work. And I have to go to this one page that says your microphone is muted, your video is stopped. And then I got to go back to the other screen.
Oh, yeah.
All I
Okay.
have is my phone.
Yeah. That should work though. It seems like it's working for you, Edward. Do you see it? But are you able to mute when you need to? Like if you have background noise?
Correct.
Okay. Yep, hang in there. We'll be here if you have other questions. Just glad you're here.
Keep me advised of the time.
Oh, the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 12:20.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions? Oh yeah.
Okay. Usually I introduce in my class the books that are designed and written by the Downhowers, and the one book that came out first was the from the Downhowers was the English Tlingit language book, and there was CDs that went with it, and I tried when I first started teaching. I tried to use that, and but I began to realize that the book wasn't written by teachers, so they did a pretty good job of putting together something, and it turns out that for beginners they were too fast, so I had to design something else, just do in-class things and then have them refer to the CDs. But that See Alaska no longer carries those books. So if you're curious about what it looks like, I know you can download stuff. Amazon has all the Tlingit stuff now. The one book that, the two books that no longer are used by See Alaska is the verb dictionary, which is wonderful. I really enjoy that book. It's, to me, it's a lot of fun because it shows a lot of action. But they didn't like the spelling system and the writing. But I think that you have access to a lot of other good things so that you can see it and make the corrections. But I think it's a fine book. It's a big yellow book if you have it. The one book that we're going to use next semester is the Lingit Class. It's Satan Tlingit, and it's got a lot of wonderful phrases and phrases and words in there that makes really useful for conversations. The one little book that came out first of all the books is a noun dictionary, and that was really crossed out. And I think I thought, okay, if the spelling is really bad, then I can just write it in. But it was the whole book. I can see why See Alaska didn't try to make the corrections. But a noun dictionary, I think it's really good to have. And it used to be that a last school had a copy of that you can download. If you want to say, how do you say rock? How do you say boat? Or how do you say single things like that? It's a good guide, I think, to know that we do have words for those. And the other things that are available now that is more probably to your liking and use, that I'll have to ask Anna to tell about the sites and things that are available for you to look at, or to and the best thing about them is that you can hear the recording and the sounds. The other thing is my grandson and I developed a recording, and it's in a program called Quizlet. If you Google Quizlet and look up Tlingit Language 1, you should be able to bring up how to say the vowels to practice it, because I'm really, really strict on that. So you're going to have to work on your own, because I keep using it and working it. So it's really important, because it teaches you how to read the language. See, what's the other? I think we also did for numbers, but we won't worry about that until later. And if you are interested, I think there is one Quizlet that has a list of the Tlingit names that the students came up with for each other, and it's kind of fun to look at. And you what you do is you click on the letter, and you'll hear my voice saying the word.
So yeah, I'll run you through the online resources that Shiksani Keek mentioned. And before that, Nich Kaguge, are you ready to give us a demonstration of Tahuti?
Ah.
Gook.
Huh.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
So I'm gonna be your Tlingit language tech right now. So I'm putting this link into the chat right now. This is what's called Tuvuti. It's the learning platform at Tlingit Haida. If you've ever taken an online class at UAS, UAA, University of your choice, you had Blackboard, Google, I don't know, wherever they're called. They all have funny names. This is the exact same thing, but it is one that Tlingit Haida uses. So this is the link. It's in the chat. You want to go to the upper right-hand corner and click login. Before you go log in, everyone should have received an email that has their username and password in the email. If you haven't done it, please check your spam folder. It can end up there, and then add Tahuti to your safe senders list. If you're having issues logging in, we do have anyone who signed up in the past day or two, we are still adding you, and we are working on it. So if you can't get in today, try again tomorrow, and then if it doesn't work tomorrow by noon, reach out to us. You want to hit login. Kutchi, do you have a question? You're muted. There we go. You're still muted. Okay, now we should hear you.
Oh, okay. I got the email, but there was no password. But I figured out to lie to it. I went in and said I forgot my password.
Perfect. So that's a wonderful. Goodness, she's for sharing with everyone. So that's a great tip. If for some reason you were not given a automatically generated password, do it because she did, and hit forgot my password, and it will prompt you to walk through and reset it. Goodness, she's for sharing that.
You know, she
So when you log in, this is going to be the first page you see. And what you want to focus on to get to your course is you want to go to either, you want to go down courses. And because I am an employee of Shinken Haida, I'm going to have a lot more options than the rest of you. But when you log in, this is all you should see is Shinken Yoskatangi, fall course. Click into it. And you're going to see each of the classes. Let's say you're going to see all your fellow students. You can actually message each other on this platform. So if you want to connect with your fellow classmates, you hover over their name. You can say add as friend or send message. So there's no need to exchange personal emails right away. If you're not comfortable with that, you can use this platform on here and talk to each other. So you want to log in, and then you want to click on week 1, day 1, or whatever day is. The Zoom class link is right here, front and center. It's also on the right-hand side, and where it says lesson links here, on the right-hand side is where all of the digital resources that Nikita Toga has been mentioning, along with Stefani T, will be placed. If there's PDF resources that they would like to share or have shared during class, you'll find them here. So today's slides are here. You can scroll through them. Right now, we have not turned on downloading, but we will, after the course, turn on the ability to download the slides. And that is how you can look at it. So if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I'm happy to answer them. Shauna.
Hi, Shauna Hotch from Cluckline. I am wondering if you guys have an app that we could download. Is it still like, this looks like the Canvas app, but I'm not sure.
So Djibouti does not have an app on its own, but it is compatible with mobile phones. So you can actually do it all through your mobile phone through the web browser.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Chish, for the question. Yes, Yadi.
So I went to the courses and I think I just heard you right. I wanted to make sure that it was correct. That what you said was you're going through and adding people. So we may not see anything in there. And I logged in the other day and went to courses and it said there is no, let's see, what is it saying? Sorry, no courses are available for me. So is that right, that you're catching up and getting people in these courses still?
That's correct. We are still catching up, and so it's my understanding that Question is working on adding folks, and that by midday tomorrow, everyone should be having the correct permissions on Djibouti. Going to shoot for the question. If you did not get a username or password, please email Question. She's going to put her email into the chat right now. And then we can send out a, she will work with folks individually if you didn't get one. If you only signed up in the last 24 hours, you probably haven't been added to the system yet. And so Question is going through and doing her best on adding anyone. Question, if you could put your email in the chat, that would be appreciated. And they will, she will reach out to you and help you get signed up for the platform. The last feature I'll show folks here is that after the class is done, you can come back to your lesson and we will be not only placing the recording here, there'll be a second place. And if you get a message from Nikita Toga or from a classmate, it's going to be in this little envelope at the top. I have no new messages, so this is what it's going to show me. but if you had one, you'll get a little thing. So I had Alicia reach out to me to be a friend. So I'm going to approve her to be a friend. And now I can message with Alicia. This site is compatible with the Lingit alphabet, so you can use your Lingit name, or it actually is compatible with all the Alaskan languages. So if you have a Yongtang name, a Nupiaq name, all of those characters will display correctly on here. And last but not least, the other resource to share is the Shinken Haida YouTube page. If you want to share with friends or family, or wondering where you could see just a playlist for these recorded classes, it's going to be also posted here. So it'll be both at Kavuti and on YouTube. And so you can share with friends and family who maybe think that they don't want to sign up for the class, but they'd like to watch the YouTube. Please direct message Kachgun. So the email, I actually am going to ask if you have issues logging into Kavuti or you need a new username, please email Kachgun at rSmallwood@ccphit-nsn.gov. It's just posted into the chat. I am really happy to be able to join, but I will be not always around. Kachgun is going to be your teaching assistant with Nisha Toga and Shaksani Ki for the whole semester. So for the most reliable service and a prompt response from Shinken Haida, please reach out to Kachgun. I'm going to switch.
Are there any more questions about Kavuti before we move on to resources? Okay. So a few of the resources I want you to be aware of so that you can check them out, be able to look things up as Shaksani Keek mentioned, just become familiar with them over time are these ones, and they can all be accessed online at clinkitlanguage.com. This is a blog site that's hosted by René Lance Twitchell. He's one of my language teachers, and here's how I get to the resources. So I open up clinkitlanguage.com. You can see it up here in the URL space. I'm gonna zoom in. On this site, you can go hover over the tab resources and either click on it, or you can scroll right down to what you're looking for. So René has compiled everything on the site from noun dictionaries. He's grouped them into beginning, intermediate, and advanced materials, classic texts, apps and keyboards. If you want to be able to type underlined letters on your keyboard at home, you can download the software for that here. He has a lot of cool posters, audio recordings, video recordings, all about verbs. And so where I'll take you right now is just to click on resources. And when I'm logged into a new computer, this is how I access these things. So I'll generally go to beginning materials. And then the resources that I've been using since I started studying Lingit as a beginner in 2017 are here. So there's the Lingit dictionary. I'll just open this up. This is, I mostly always have this open on my web browser. This is a PDF version. Actually, the way I recommend opening this, let me backtrack. The way I recommend opening the dictionary is to hover over resources and click dictionary. And the reason I do this is because if I'm using it on my computer, I want to be able to search it. And if I'm using the, searching it online, I click the HTML option. So again, resources, dictionary, and then it takes you to this page, and I click HTML version. that's how I do it. From there, the dictionary opens up. You can click whether the printed book will be Lingit to English, and then the second half will be English to Lingit. If you're using it online, you can just click Lingit. If I want to search for something, if I'm like, how do you say flower? I'll open up the search bar. I'm using a Mac, so that's Command F. If you're on a PC, it will be Control F. But you can see here that my search bar opened up, and now I can type in the word flower. So let me zoom in. So I typed in flower. I can see on my search bar that there are 21 options, and I will often do this because I call it my research phase, and I'll just kind of scroll through and familiarize myself with all the words of that are associated with flower. But that will come with time. I just kind of want to give you a brief insight into how I access and use this noun dictionary. Another resource that we mentioned is the beginning Lingit workbook. So let's go to that. So this top link. Lingit Twinish cook. That means beginning Lingit workbook. And this is a resource we'll use throughout the class, and I would encourage you to check it out. You can, just start to get familiar with the way things are written. You don't have to be an advanced linguist right away, or, completely understand how to gloss, which is what you see here. But, just check it out, have an open mind, be curious about it. Scroll through and maybe look over the first couple of chapters. We're going to be talking about sounds. So, check out sounds. But this is one of the resources we'll be using in class. So just check it out. Next one I'm a big fan of is the Tlingit Verb Database updated webpage. This is a compilation by Carrie Eggleston. We'll get into verbs more next semester, but it's never too early to just start checking it out. So to access that, there's actually both these resources I really enjoy for verbs. So the top one is what Shuksani Keek mentioned. It's the Tlingit Verb Dictionary by Nation Story. That's a PDF. And then the other one I mentioned is an online. So I'll just click on them to show you what I'm talking about. So what you're looking at in the blue are verb roots. If you want to start being familiar with verbs, as we start looking up our pet names or start looking up actions, this is available to us. So anyway, that's just to show you how to get to it. And then the Tlingit Verb Dictionary. And this won't be the last time we demonstrate how to open these, but just want to introduce you to them. Okay, this is the Tlingit Verb Dictionary. It's in print, it's a yellow cover book. Here it's digitized into a PDF. And what I like about this resource is if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, there's an option here with some bookmarks. So I can open this up and again, either open the side that's English to Tlingit or Tlingit to English, depending on where I'm starting with. So if I see, if for example, I'm like, let me zoom in. if I want to know how to say extend, I can look through and there will usually be example phrases. So have it in Tlingit in bold and then in English after that. But, anyway, without getting too far into them, you can also access the phrase book. The phrase book that Shiksani Keek mentioned is Tlingit Sa. That means say it in Tlingit. We'll be using this more in the second semester, but if you need to look up how to say phrases, you can do that here. I often look at this book to see how do I say the month that I'm in right now. So this book is great for that. If you scroll down in the contents to months, seasons, and days, it's on page 19. Oops. Sorry. This book is fun. It just has a lot of fun topics. Months, season, days, time. So we're in October now. So in Tlingit, you might call it disclaim. Last resource I'll introduce you to before we close.
I've been getting
Sorry.
paid $1,000.
I'm not actually going to close out because I don't want to put you through ads and everything, but if you go on YouTube, you can check out Tlingit Language by Khune and Introduction to Tlingit Sounds, and that's something you can practice. Are there any questions about the resources?
What time is it?
It's 5 to 1.
By that clock,
Yeah.
that's 6 minutes early.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, then it's 12:47.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the time, we're talking about the time. And I never, as a child, I never did hear anybody say 10 minutes. They always just said Adeya kanda hit. Adeya kanda hit. That's already, it's almost time. At kaudi hit is it's time. Adas kaudi hit. It's after the time. So we never really, it's like talking about the temperature of the weather. You don't talk about numbers. So we have different ways of talking about it. So there was a phrase that, or a word that we came up with in discussion with Gold Belt is when you tell somebody they're muted, you're muted. Ik outly dik. Ik outly dik. Your mouth is stopped up.
Gonna cheese. Ik
Oh.
outlet. Ik
Dik. Ik outly dik. Yeah.
Ik outlet. Ik.
Yeah, there you got it. Okay. Before we close, I wanted to make sure that we start on, so get your pens out, your computers, and let's start our book. So this will be our class book. We'll start with the letter L. When you see the letter standing by itself, it is the silent letter. So write down the letter L And besides that, you need to write a voiceless letter. And here's how you say it. And you can write down write it down so you can remember how to do it. I want everybody to say the English letter L.
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 L
L.
L.
L L.
Okay. Now, when you say the English letter L, watch where the tip of your tongue goes. Say it again, L.
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 Now, now the Lingit letter is you put your tongue behind your top teeth, and then you let the air come out the sides of your tongue. Yeah, it's called a voiceless letter. There's no sound, just air. Yeah. So I know that the government calls us Klinkits, but we call ourselves Lingit.
Get
Lingit. So you let that silent letter, the air, get,
Lingit.
yeah.
Lingit.
No, it's not Lingit. It's Lingit. That there's a tone mark on the last I. So listen to me. Lingit.
Lingit.
There you go. Lingit. Yeah. We are not sure, but the word Shane is a word for the tide by the Klinkits. Tide, Shane.
Lane.
And the word git, we think, comes from the Tsimshian. So it might be a word that was made up by the Tsimshian for us, named us. Git means people.
Git.
People of the tide. That's what they called us. Shane, git.
Lingit. Get.
Okay, what language are you studying here? Tell me.
Get. Lingit.
Get
Get.
Get
Yeah.
Lingit.
Get
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds real good, you guys. Lingit.
Get
So that's going to be your first notes, and say that it's a voiceless letter and how to describe how to say it so that you'll remember it the next time. And we'll keep practicing it. It was a letter, the letter L in English, we don't have except when it's combined with another letter, is for some reason, the old people could not say L. Absolutely could not.
L.
It always came out N. And so it was really difficult. And when they try to say N, it comes out L. So when I was a kid in church, we used to sing when the saints go marching in. I want to be among that number is a song, and the way we sang it was, when the saints go marching in, I want to be among that lumber. And so when the missionaries came and they started singing it, as the kids, we said, hey, they're singing it wrong. They're saying number instead of lumber. So anyway, just a little humor, because we did laugh at ourselves quite a bit in learning the language. It was difficult, and everybody struggled, especially the adults. And there's a story in Juneau about a couple that was walking together, and coming down the street was a man that was selling stuff from a cart. And every now and then he would yell out what he was selling. So they were walking towards him. And when he came close enough, he said, "Hot tamales." And they both smiled and walked by. And the man said to his wife, "What did he say?" She said, "It's going to be hot tomorrow." Yeah, we told stories about ourselves, about learning the language. So this is in reverse. If you're an English speaker and you're struggling, we understand very well how difficult it is to change your way of thinking. And you're going to find that a lot in the language. I've been told by a lot of people that one of the things that we do, and it's really common, is in English, you say, "I ate an orange." In Tlingit, we say, "Anjes hwaha." So it's reversed. And somebody would say, "Hey, that's backwards." I said, "No, actually, English is the only one that's backwards. In most languages, it's the way that I was talking about for the Lingit language." So keep your notebooks handy and your pencil sharpened, because we're going to give you a lot. And the word for being muted is outly dick. Outly dick. Yeah. Your mouth is stopped up. So, and then the time, ade akanda hit. Yeah, it's almost time. Atkau di hit. It's time. Adah kau di hit. After the time. Yeah.
Would you be able to put that in chat? The
Yeah.
spelling? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ganesh cheese.
Do you have any comments or questions? So I do a lot of history for those of you that had no contact with an elder that tells us a lot of history and stories. And I also use a lot of stories, that some of them that are amusing, and some of them that are really important to know. So we go through that, and it's so we'll have a variety of ways to learn.
Enough
Do you have
cheese.
any time left?
1 minute left.
Okay.
Shaksanikik.
Uh,
This is Diane Benson. V'ches Yuchatu Esak. I
oh,
just wanted to say Gunaf Tish and hello.
Gunaf Tish.
Ganesh cheese ku at kla. Let's see, at kla tuwu. I was trying to say thank you, teachers.
Enough cheese.
Sonny, can you get if I can make an announcement?
Yeah.
If any, so we are continuing to add folks to the Tivity platform. If you do not see the course or you cannot log in by tomorrow afternoon, please, please, please email Achun or Rochelle Smallwood. It would be her name. Her English name. Her email is in the chat. I'll post it again in the chat. She is the person you want to reach out to. Also, if you're having issues with Zoom or any of your technology, she is the one you want to contact. Finish.
Yeah, finish. Okay.
Tish, we'll see you all here on Thursday at 12. Bring your notebooks and your sharp pencils, and we look forward to seeing you all again.
Goodness, cheese.
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 Good
Cheese.
Goodness, cheese.
Goodness, cheese.
Goodness, cheese.
Okay.
Cheese.
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 Goodness, cheese.
Sheesh.